All right, guys, we wanted to do a video. Joe's been doing a little bit of, you know, reading the news after school. And Joe's telling me, hey, Dad, wasn't we supposed to end the aid here to Colombia? And for those of you that don't know, we live in Colombia. And we are desperately trying to get back home. We want to go back home. We don't want to be here. We have been discriminated against, physically attacked, not this way, throwing rocks and concrete and then disappearing into the woods and the jungle, disappearing down the city blocks. These people hate us because we're Americans. Don't you get it right,
yeah.
Joe? So Joe was telling me, all right, well, they're sitting there. They got the government shut down for, and the reason that we're given from the Republican side, we agree with. You shouldn't be giving illegals health care money and all of that while Americans are having to pay. However, this is to hold on a cotton picking moment time to let you guys know. Joe was looking on the Emassy website, and we're giving over $130 million to these people for food, medical care, and all this. And what state was it in?
A place called Sucre.
In a place called Sucre. We've built a big new hospital for them, transportation to and from it for them free, so they can have a place to go free of charge for health care here in Colombia. And they spent over 5.5, almost 6 billion pesos to give to that, and it's still ongoing. And the $134 million is still ongoing.
138.
138 millions, and it's still ongoing. See, and he just read off two things out of a huge long list of money that you were forced as a U.S. taxpayer to be shelling out down here. So the wool's still being pulled over your eyes. Meanwhile, the country that it's all being sent to, Trump's acting tough guy, as he should, and pulled us off of the narco agreements that we had together, which he should have done with this country. And for those of you that don't know, Colombia sits side by side with Venezuela, if you're not unaware of your geography on that. And Colombia assisted all the migrants to go up through. In other words, they'd leave Venezuela, get here, use your U.S. tax dollars to pack them up with everything they needed for the rides, which most people thinking they'd walked up there, and they didn't. They got free buses, free food, and it was all packed up here from your taxpayer dollars here in Colombia to get their groups together to send to our country, and nothing has been done about it. So the tough talk, which should be said, Trump's doing right there with the, and if you hear noise in the background, you can't get away from it. This is 24 fucking hours a day, and it's going to be at a neighborhood near you. You keep setting your ass back and not listening to folks like us. I hope that's not overpowering even our mics here. So, free health care here from the people, and monies here that were given to Venezuelans and Colombians to come up and invade through Mexico to wreak havoc, cause trouble, lie, cheat, and steal, kidnap, molest your children, and every effing thing else going on right here. Now, meanwhile, Trump said, I've cut them off. I've cut them off. I've cut off all aid there. No, it's not true. Hasn't been cut. You go down the list, we are still the primary giver for the military, their health care, their justice system, which is non-existent. And all of this is going into the pockets. The State Department knows it. The embassy people know it. The ambassador knows it. Going into the pockets of corrupt individuals here in this country, yet they keep wanting to give it to them. And all this going on. And another thing we wanted to tell you about, we are really fighting to get back home. We are Americans. This is my son, my blood son. He was born where I was born, in the United States. And we're trying to get back. And it's a little hard bending over and getting it up the old reamer there, like going to the F you up the butt prison type of bend over, when they're giving people $1,000 and free airfare to go back on, but won't help us come back. Won't help us come back. And many of you that's been watching this channel, you know why he was even here in the first place and why I had to come. He was stolen. And so be careful what you hear and what you listen to. And all the while, alerts are coming out for U.S. citizens here after giving billions of dollars here yearly. We just got an alert not to be outside on the telephone, just not to be outside, to stay inside. These embassy alerts you get, because it's too dangerous, because the Palestinian protesters have been throwing fireworks and flares onto embassy ground, and the embassy sitting there scared it's going to get overrun. The U.S. Embassy. So there ain't shit the federal government in the U.S. can do. I don't know about if this is everywhere, but I know we damn sure can't do it. And having the experiences here, I know these damn people can't do anything, nothing, except use and abuse and take up and be I, me, my. And people need to start thinking, because you are getting the shaft in the United States, and you are not getting truth. You are not getting truth. And they hide the truth in plain sight. What you can do is go look at the embassy in Bogota's website and go look it through, and all these programs and everything they're doing for these people, all the while forsaking you, the citizens of the United States. And we're Republicans around here. We're so conservative we squeak when we walk. But we don't like this. And it's just a few of the leaders we got to get the information to. No, Marco Rubio knows all about this. He knows what's going on and what's being put up on each country's website. They're not lying to you about any of this shit. They just don't want to tell you what they're doing, including the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, including Donald Trump, including the Attorney General, including the FBI Director, including them all. And because this stuff is clearly up on these websites for these embassies, and they're probably just telling us maybe a little smidgen of what they're actually doing and wasting your money on every other Tom, Dick, and Harry in the world while forsaking you. And it's time you wake up. It is time to wake up. You got anything you want to add to that? Or?
Yeah, that this is ridiculous. They're talking the talk, but not walking the walk.
You heard that, folks. How did you feel when you found that out?
Betrayed.
Yeah, and when he come and told me, I kind of know this stuff's going on a constant basis, but he came and Joe did and started reading off to me, and I felt betrayed too. And we are betrayed. And welcome to the new boss, same as the old boss. That is forever true. And then they hadn't cut nothing off here. Don't be fooled about it. They are supplying help to the country that is taking in all the drugs and producing the drugs that are being sent, because they're originating here and being sent to Venezuelan and Mexican cartels that are killing your children. And why? Why? You know, go after everybody else except where they make it and they grow it. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that something about that? And meanwhile, on a daily basis, Joe gets to come to me and tell me that this president here in Colombia is like saying crazy things. And let me tell you about this guy. This guy goes up to Panama City constantly. He's in Panama City as much as he's in Bogota with transvestite men and constantly putting on how bad we are. White people are trash. They all need to be exterminated and things like that on a constant basis. Meanwhile, Whitey sitting up there in the White House is funneling your tax money down here to the very guy that wants to kill us and make it unsafe for us. And we damn well don't appreciate it, and we want the world to know, right?
Oh, yeah.
So anything else you want to add? So I was glad Joe come to me with this information this morning because we had been lied to and told all this help was stopped. Meanwhile, if we go to the embassy for help, we get told things like, we're not here to help Americans, from our own U.S. embassy. No exaggeration, no lip service. We are not here to help Americans. We are here to help Colombians. Hadn't we heard that before?
Yep.
Several
times.
Several times. So I don't want to hear Trump's bullshit about this place no more. And it gets you to wondering about every place. And then that gets you to wondering about everything. And no matter, I would still vote for Trump again, but by golly, I'm going to question him. And I'm going to continue to question him. And by golly, I'm going to continue to question TPUSA that Charlie Kirk headed, and he just got assassinated. Jesse on Fire he and his wife were just questioning some things. Those comments coming up there, oh, you're making a widow feel bad. Oh, you're abusing a widow of a assassinated man, and how terrible you can be, and all this. No, you guys need to be asking questions.
That's the liberal way. They're not asking, not questioning nothing. That's the liberal way.
That's the liberal.
We're not liberals.
And we're not liberals. We do ask questions. We don't go along with the program. And just as sorry as I can be, and I'll mention it again, I've mentioned it a bunch of times, Jesus didn't own a bed to lay it down on or a pillow to lay his head on. He owned none of that. He didn't own a mule. And you think it's okay for $500 million a year Christian organizations to exist, and you just can't say nothing, or you're a bad guy? You can't question what they're doing? Just as sorry as I can be. They've moved on way too fast. They have just, okay, Kirk got assassinated, and it's all of them are acting that way. His wife, the people that work on that board there, and all of that. And we ain't going along with that program. I would hope and pray that if somebody took me out, that I would have some people around me, that the people that love me would be wanting to get to the bottom of it and not just accepting a narrative that they can just look and see that is not correct. So keep questioning, keep looking into things. And that's why in the boxing world, you guys are the boxing, now you fix to have to deal with him. And we're questioning everything, training techniques, everything, this, that. And you know what? We're coming up with nothing new under the sun, but we're coming up with a lot of stuff. Nothing new under the sun, but we're coming up with damn near everything. And none of it's new. And you're going to be shocked in this world. You're going to be shocked when somebody can move the first 10 seconds the same as the last 12 seconds of the 12th and final round. And you're not going to be able to understand it. How do they do that? And we ain't showing nobody. You need to go out there and look. Of course, me, I've been around and we're doing most of the stuff that I was doing in the 60s and 70s. There ain't nothing new under the sun. There ain't no new miracle you're going to be able to go to. It's just time to make things anew by getting back to investigating, researching, and doing provable, winnable things that are sustainable for the sport you're doing, the education you're doing, the career you're doing, and for humanity itself. So anyway, that's our little spiel for it today. Joe may be doing some sparring tonight. It's still on at this point. We're at 12 noon. So we're hoping we get to go over and to the next city over and do some sparring. So if we do, you'll see it at some point. And much love to you guys. Hoping everybody has a good week, and we will see you later.